The ballistic missile submarine is one of the most reliable means of nuclear deterrence. These are the war machines that would survive a first strike and be able to retaliate. But these underwater giants could also travel close to any target, avoiding detection, and rain down multiple nuclear warheads, preventing an enemy from using their own weapons. Now, check out some of these incredible submarines. Virginia-class, USA. First delivered to the U.S. Navy on September 24, 2018, the Block III Virginia-class nuclear-powered fast attack submarine is armed with all the latest advanced submarine warfare technology. It is powered by a pressurized water nuclear reactor with an output of 150 megawatts, which drives a 30-megawatt pump jet propulsion system. The most recent and interesting change to these new deadly submarines is that instead of having 12 individual 21-inch diameter vertical launch tubes that are able to fire Tomahawk land attack missiles, TLAMs, the Block III submarines are built with two larger 87-inch diameter tubes which can house 6 Tomahawks each and have been designed for future advanced missile systems. The South Dakota also is equipped with 4 torpedo tubes for Mk-48 torpedoes and has a water-backed large aperture bow, or LAB, sonar array, and in combination with its fly-by-wire capability, enables this submarine to perform important intelligence and surveillance missions. The new Virginia-class SSNs are multi-purpose platforms capable of performing anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface ship, and strike warfare. The U.S. Navy plans to commission a total of 51 Virginia-class attack submarines. Seawolf-class, USA. These submarines are one of the most advanced but also the most expensive hunter-killer submarines in the world. Intended to restore the technological edge that the U.S. Navy had enjoyed over the Soviets from 1945 until the mid-1980s, they were built to seek and destroy the latest Soviet ballistic missile submarines, such as the Typhoon class, and the latest attack subs like the Akula class. They are said to be the quietest submarines in the world, and the boats are exceptionally quiet at high speeds. Most subs need to stay around 5 knots to avoid detection by passive sonar arrays. Not the Seawolf. Much faster than many submarines with a top submerged speed of 35 knots, it can cruise at 20 knots and be impossible to locate. In fact, a Seawolf at 20 knots makes a lot less noise than an older Los Angeles-class submarine tied up to a pier. They can operate at greater depths than any existing U.S. subs, and they can also operate just fine under the polar ice cap. They are armed with 8 660mm torpedo tubes that can launch Mk-48 torpedoes and sub-Harpoon anti-ship missiles. The tubes can launch Tomahawk missiles, and the attack submarine can carry a mix of 50 torpedoes, sub-Harpoons, and Tomahawks, or it can go on a mission and lay down 100 mines silently. There are still 3 Seawolf hunter-killer subs in service and actively patrolling the waters. Newer boats are said to be equipped with an advanced BSY sonar suit, surveillance and tactical towed arrays, BPS-16 navigation radar, and a Raytheon Mk2 weapons control system. Astute-class, United Kingdom. The first Astute-class nuclear-powered attack submarine was first commissioned with the Royal Navy in 2010. And replaced the older Swiftsure-class attack submarine. They are significantly stealthier and carry 50% more weapons than the previous Trafalgar-class boats. These attack submarines are fitted with 20-inch torpedo tubes and are armed with BAE Systems Spearfish torpedoes and Boeing Sub-Harpoon anti-ship missiles. The Spearfish is a wire-guided weapon with active-passive homing and an active range of 40 miles and can travel at 60 knots. The Sub-Harpoon is a sea-skimming missile with high subsonic cruising speed and a range of more than 80 miles. Of course, the sub can also attack land-based targets with Tomahawk cruise missiles that have a high explosive warhead. These missiles have a range of more than 1,000 miles and can be used to target enemy ships and land targets. The Astute class can carry a total of 36 torpedoes and missiles, and mines can also be carried in place of torpedoes. The submarine is powered by a Rolls-Royce pressurized water reactor, which has a service life of 25 years and is not refueled. The range and sea endurance of the boat are only limited by the crew's need for food supplies. Granny-class, Russia. Also known as Project 885 Yasen, The Western-designated Grainy class is the latest Russian nuclear-powered attack submarine which is being built to replace the older Akula-class subs. However, despite improvements, the Grainy class are only slightly quieter than the Akula class. K-560 Severodvinsk is a Yasen-class nuclear attack submarine of the Russian Navy, whose construction began in 1993. Budget cuts delayed the project for years, and it was only launched June 15, 2010, and only became combat-ready in early 2016. The Severodvinsk has 24 vertical launch tubes for various cruise missiles and include P-800 Onyx that have 187-mile range. It also has 8 25-inch torpedo tubes. These tubes can launch anti-ship missiles as well as torpedoes, and it's reported that the boat can carry a mix of 30 anti-ship missiles and torpedoes. It has a top speed of 35 knots submerged and can cruise submerged and silent at 28 knots. Sierra II class, Russia. This Russian submarine is one of the most expensive that the Russian Navy has ever built. There have been 2 Sierra Class II boats ever commissioned because of their extremely high price. The boats have 2 light and strong titanium hulls, and at the time they were built, Soviet titanium technology was far more advanced than the West and required fewer passes to achieve a solid well. But the cost of the hulls was what limited the number of subs to be built. However, the titanium hull gave the attack submarine advantages in diving depths and speed. The Sierra Class II can operate at depths of 1,700 to 2,460 feet, while the Akula class and even the American Virginia class can only operate at 820 feet. Even the most advanced Seawolf class can't dive that deep. It is armed with SSN-15 Starfish or SSN-16 Stallion anti-submarine missiles, SSN-21 Samson cruise missiles, and can carry 8 torpedoes or 42 mines. It is powered by a pressurized water nuclear reactor rated at 190 megawatts, delivering power to 1 shaft, and it also has 2 to 1,002 horsepower emergency motors. Improved Los Angeles class, USA. There are still some older boats in service in the U.S. Navy, and there are around 40 of these older subs still in service. The first improved version of this boat was commissioned back in 1988 and are much quieter than the original Los Angeles class boats, and in fact, up to 7 times quieter. This class features a very potent array of weapons which include Mk-48 torpedoes, sub-harpoon anti-ship missiles, and of course the mighty Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles, which can be launched from the dedicated vertical launch system or from the torpedo tubes. They operate under the ice where Russian ballistic submarines tend to hide. A total of 62 of these submarines were built, and they are powered by an S-6G pressurized water reactor. A total of 26 Mk-48 torpedoes can be carried by the Los Angeles class. However, it can also carry 14 torpedoes and 12 tube-launched Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles, which can be fired out of 4 tubes and placed amidships in the vessel. Los Angeles class attack submarines saw action during operations in Iraq, Kosovo, and Afghanistan, but now mostly run under ice operations guarding against Russian attack subs. Akula class, Russia. It was the late 1980s when the Soviet Union launched a number of the Akula-class boats, which were far quieter than the previous Soviet attack subs. And they were also quieter than the latest U.S. attack submarines during that time. And yes, quieter than the original Los Angeles class. The improved Akula Class II steel-hulled boats have 4 25-inch torpedo tubes and 4 20-inch tubes. The attack sub can carry up to 40 torpedoes and missiles. It is powered by a 190 megawatt water pressurized nuclear reactor, and it has a maximum speed of 35 knots submerged. Ohio Class USA. These submarines were originally designed and built to carry intercontinental ballistic missiles and were classified as SSBNs. They carried Trident II missiles, which could have 14 to 475 kiloton warheads. But between 2002 and 2008, the U.S. Navy converted 4 of its oldest Ohio-class submarines into cruise missile carriers, or SSGNs. The first conversion was completed in 2006 by replacing the Trident II intercontinental ballistic missiles with 7 much smaller Tomahawk cruise missiles. Each converted SSGN is capable of carrying 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles, which would typically be deployed in a surface battle group. Along with that, these boats also have 4 20-inch torpedo tubes for Mk-48 torpedoes. Because of their heavy weapons payload, they have a slower submerged speed of 25 knots. What nuclear reactor these boats use for power is classified and unknown. Oscar II class, Russia. Called Project 949 Ente, these Soviet-Russian nuclear-powered cruise missile submarines are known in the West as the Oscar II class. They are the third largest submarines ever built in terms of displacement and length. Only the Soviet Typhoon class and the American Ohio class boats are larger. In fact, they were the largest attack submarines ever constructed. They are currently among the most capable Russian submarines, and currently 4 out of 11 boats still remain active with the Russian Navy. By modern standards, they are far from stealthy, but pack a heavy punch when it comes to armament. The Soviets designed these giant cruise missile boats to attack U.S. aircraft carrier battle groups and coastal military installations. They are armed with 24 P-700 Granite supersonic cruise missiles with a range of 340 miles. They are also fitted with 2 25-inch and 4 20-inch torpedo tubes, which can launch both torpedoes, which include SN-16 Stallion anti-ship missiles, torpedoes, nuclear warheads, or nuclear depth charges when going against hostile ships and submarines. Incidentally, the Kursk, which sank during a naval exercise when there was an explosion caused by a hydrogen peroxide-fueled Type 65 torpedo as they prepared to fire. Hydrogen peroxide had seeped through the weld, which caused an explosion equivalent to 550 pounds of explosive. The explosive was heard as far away as Alaska and measured 4.5 on the Richter scale. The submarine sank in relatively shallow water at 354 feet, and then a second explosion happened 135 seconds after. Unfortunately, the entire crew of the 118 Russian sailors perished. The Dutch Giant 4 raised the Kursk, where it could be seen without its entire nose section. A moment of silence for those sailors lost. We hope you enjoyed this video. Which submarine do you think is the best? If you liked the video, then click on the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.